Up until now, I did work as a video producer, cinematographer, 3D generalist, Houdini FX simulations guy. I also did C dev work. And yet I had a feeling like I wasn't contributing enough. I didn't do anything really worth mentioning. Sure, it can be argued that by doing a nice video commercial, you are improving profits for your client. Same goes for CGI work. Coding was supposed to be even more impactful, but often you end up with a mediocre code base, which pays well, but is really just perpetuating yet another vaguely described corporate venture based on the whims of people that don't really know what they want. I interpreted this feeling as a dire need to create something of my own. And since I needed a couple of lenses rehoused to PL mount, I did a bit of research and I thought to myself, yeah, I can do this. And I went on and bought a 3D printer, built a lot of stuff, experimented a bit, and eventually hit a wall when it comes to precision and sturdiness of the parts. The next step was obvious, buying a CNC milling machine. After buying the machine, I went on a milling speed run, and here we are. So this is basically the workflow. First, 3D printing a prototype. Next, CNC milling a tested prototype and checking some toolpaths in lovely FreeCAD. This time, I did have a lot more issues due to the overall complexity and multiple parts assembly. My first try ended like this. Two-sided milling misalignment. Yep, this is where I knew I needed a more reliable way of finding my zero after flipping the stock. My first instinct was buy 3D Touch probe, $60, 0.001 accuracy, China #1. But I needed a solution now, and I couldn't wait 2 weeks for the probe to arrive. Then my Z probe caught my eye. It works on the principle of continuity. Clamp the bit, and when it touches the probe, there is a short. This signals the machine that it has found Z height of the stock. So naturally, I did this. Aluminum is conductive, so by the same principle, I should be able to find X, Y, and Z coordinates this way without needing any dowels, screw holes, custom jigs, or 3D Touch probe. Let's try this out. In our CAM program, starting point 0 is here, in the middle of the hole. We go over to UGS, use this macro hole center, eyeball the center of the hole, enter the diameter of your bit. It needs this for the offset to find the exact center, enter the approximate radius of the hole. The reason I'm using inverted bit when probing like this is precision and uniformity. Right on the money. Nice. Problem solved. Why am I using holes instead of just finding the corner of the stock? Because my stock is like this. Very sloppily cut, and after I flip it, I will get this all over again. It's simply not reliable. After this eureka moment, I felt smart for about 10 minutes, and then I found another issue. Flattening the faces to be parallel to one another as much as possible. Using my Frankenstein 3D Touch probe, I started doing this, Z-probing the whole stock in order to get a point cloud. You can choose the resolution here. I went with 10, it will suffice. Afterwards, I save it to the external file, find the highest and the lowest point. Optionally, you can use a bit of coding and make a 3D representation of it to see the unevenness of the surface. We are importing the point cloud into Houdini, using transform node to scale it down. Then we use two attribute promote nodes to find the minimum and maximum value for the height. And then use attribute wrangle code snippet to remap the height value so we can see it. Because in reality, the height value differences are so small, we can't see them without this remap, in which I greatly exaggerated the values. Triangulate 2D to actually see the surface. Then I set the Z height to the highest point and do a facing operation straight down to the lowest point. After successfully finishing the first part, focus ring, I was supremely flabbergasted by my great success. But before going to bed, I had to vacuum the CNC box, and I was too lazy to put on these. Guess what happened? Yes, I got aluminium shards straight in my eye. Very nice. So I dropped what I was doing, went to the pharmacy, bought some eye drops, went back, I dropped myself into oblivion, and laid back for a while. When I got up, I went to check on my eye and found this in the corner. Yes, still lodged between my eye and my eyelid. I got it out, a simple cotton swab. I lightly tapped, and it being drenched in my tears, it simply stuck to the swab. As of now, I'm still fine. My eyes are fine, no complications have arisen. But please learn through my mistakes. Do not be lazy, just do this, do it like this, oh yeah. And now you are safe, and you will not be blind. Don't be lazy, you. Anyhow, back to the thing. Milling this chamfer was a bit difficult, since the latest version of FreeCAD still has some quirks. It works flawlessly once you set it up though. Admittedly, I was reluctant to do a second pass with a ball end mill to make it super smooth, and I already wasted 9 hours on the failed first part. Total milling time for this whole thing, including the failed first part, was around 24 hours. After optimizing the toolpaths, changing the design a bit, and avoiding mistakes, I can trim it down to 14 hours. During this whole process, I broke 4 to 5 mills. Ironically enough, only one was broken during milling. Other 4 were a mix of bad zeros moving straight into the stock laterally, and I just don't want to talk about it too much. It's mostly on me. I'll just take note of my sins and do my best not to repeat them again. But still, these little bastards are very sensitive. Triple check everything while working with super small end mills. The assembly went pretty smooth, and the lens is working just fine. I've used standard 0.8 pitch involute gears for focus and aperture rings. They are around 5 to 6 mm deep. I've used gears on my Blazar 35mm T1.8 anamorphic as a reference point. Follow focus functions as expected. Everything fits pretty well. Even the screw holes are snug as fudge. All in all, I'm super pleased. It would be nice to send this over for anodizing, and I don't really want to do that myself since I have some other personal work lined up. Why anodize and not paint? Because a coat of paint has a certain thickness to it, and it would adversely affect some of my... the tolerances of the piece. The only dilemma I'm facing right now is which color I should pick for anodizing. Any suggestions? I'm all ears.
The day is on and we ride along, taking the sight, sing our favorite songs. Feel the wind blowing in our faces. Nowhere to be, no permanent places. We don't wanna miss a thing. There's not much we need to bring. We won't bring much indeed. Taking all the time we need to enjoy the day, no matter which way it leads. What a day this will be. So alive and so free. Now it's time to sit back and melt into this dream. Oh, what a day, what a day. The sun is up and we're feeling good. Take a drive through the neighborhood. See the kids playing on the lawn. Hear the dogs barking doggy songs. We don't wanna miss a thing. We will not miss a
And that's about it. In case you're interested, I'm open to doing any lens as long as it's possible. Of course, I have a deal with a big CNC workshop, so turnaround times won't be an issue. Just
Aluminum, do you like cut me?